up, guys? It's Scott with Never Hedge, back for another Clover Health update. And right now we're sitting in the pre-market, pretty low volume at only 80,000 shares traded, but we are up 3 cents. So that is pretty nice here. To end, yesterday we got absolutely crushed. Looked like it was going to be a pretty good day with a nice little opening pump up to 876, and then we got promptly shorted into the depths of despair, and we've hit a low of the day at 822, and then luckily bounced right back up and finished the day right at 830. And RSI yesterday was looking pretty beaten down and oversold, looking like right here, almost at the close of the day, we were down to 27.78. A couple of other low spots here, down in the 30s in the earlier parts of the day. So definitely this is getting pretty beaten down right now. Looking a little bit better as of right this second, up to 43.26, still in a downward trend though, unfortunately. And MACDs yesterday were looking not so good. Not so good at all. Actually, I take that back. They were looking very good at the start of the day, and then the rest of the day just getting pounded. All right. Moving on over to Fintel next. So the days to cover is way down on this, and the short interest percentage of the float is also down. Short interest still very high at 30 million shares on the short side, and that short squeeze score has dropped quite a bit from last week. We were up to, I think, number 17. Now we're down to only 541 on the short squeeze score, is sitting at 61.12. And the shares availability going way back up. I think last week we hit 0 shares a couple of times. Now we're back up to 1.4 as of 47 minutes ago, and then up even higher than that a couple hours ago. And that borrow fee rate has also dropped like a stone. If you remember last week, we were up to like 120% for a couple of hot minutes here. Back down to 1.25%, and we're heading over to Ortex. We can see short interest change from yesterday, up 3.3%. So pretty high there. Utilization on this has been pretty volatile, pretty up and down. If we can see that, right when we hit over $11, we were up to 87% utilization. Now we're down to 85%. And then when they were pounding this thing back down, we were up to a high of 96%. And we have a lot to get to today. So the first thing came out late last night. So the Clover Health Investments announces the results of the completed redemption of all outstanding warrants. On July 22nd, 2021, the company issued a press release stating that it would redeem all of its outstanding warrants that remained outstanding on the redemption date for a redemption price of 10 cents per warrant. On August 25th, 2021, the company announced that it was extending the period during which the holders of the public warrants could exercise the warrants to 5 p.m. Eastern Time on September 9th. And in connection with the redemption, 33,535 public warrants were exercised for cash at an exercise price of $11.50 per share of common stock, and 26.7 million were exercised on a cashless basis in exchange for an aggregate of 6.65 million shares of common stock. In each case, in accordance with the terms of the warrant agreement, representing approximately 97% of public warrants. In addition, all of the private warrants were exercised on a cashless basis for an aggregate of 2.72 million shares of common stock in accordance with the terms of the warrant agreement. Total cash proceeds from the exercise of warrants were only $385,000. As of September 13th, the company had no warrants and 253 million shares of Class A common stock outstanding. All right, so that whole thing is done. Moving on here, because this is the interesting thing that I want to get to. This was by Smash Russ from a day ago. RSI correlation thesis update for September 13th's RSI action compared to December 17th. He starts off, I hope things continue to play out according to my correlation thesis with RSI momentum movement. Here we see the RSI for December 17th. And so this is the oversold line here. This is the overbought line. As you can see, he put lines down to show the days of each movement. December 17th was when the RSI stopped moving downwards and started to reverse the next day, taking 7 days for it to spike above oversold for 5 days straight. During this time, volume is very low. Here's the corresponding day's volume. During this time, the price went from 1057 to 1745. And if we look at the volume, we're getting way more than that right now. December 11th, 6.5 million. December 14th, 7.9. December 15th, 7.25. December 16th, 7.23. And December 17th, 7.77. And here's where we're at right now. You can see this was the pump up to over $11, and then we are way down here. So it looks like the trend could be reversing. This is where we are right now. We just passed the first spike. During this time, our volume is insane, hence why the RSI pressure has created such a sharp vertical spikes and drops. The red box is where we are today. Another red day is expected according to RSI correlation thesis, which showed us how it looked the first cycle. And according to this thesis, it could take us 7 days to reach the next peak. Now the question is, are we going to have a spike that will exceed 70 RSI and hit 90 RSI? If we do hit 90 plus RSI again, the Fibonacci retracement will be explosive because of volume and shorting. Again, the retracement shows that if it plays out going past 70 to 90, it should peak around 65-ish. So here we go. So according to this is so far spot on, because he was saying we were going to have another red day on the 14th, which we did. So we could be reversing the trend here. So this is the volume for the preceding 5 days. September 7th, 175 million. September 8th, 78 million. September 9th, 50 million. September 10th, 28 million. September 13th, 17.9 million. Now we're looking at candlesticks. So this is for the December 17th time frame. As you can see, the candlesticks, they're similar with bullish movement when it bottomed on December 17th. It was 4 straight red days before it turned green with a bullish 3 stars in the south. This is what the 3 stars in the south looks like. This is what we had here. So this is where we are right now. Very similar movement during the same RSI correlation thesis time frame with similar outcomes. Today will be the day to know where we are headed, because if it is green day, it'll be a bullish dumpling top, which means we reach bottom, and the following 2 days the price will start spiking for the next 5 days. The old dumpling top. And according to this thesis, the MACD movement is correlated as well. We can see on December 17th when it bottomed and bounced right back up without crossing just before the price surge. So here we go, MACD bottoming and shooting back up. No crosses here, and this is where we are here. Looks fairly similar to this right here, there, and then coming back up. Looks like they're getting close to touching, and then we could see a spike here. Now we're currently right here, just about to cross over again, and if we have another red day today, we'll touch and then bounce off. But if it's a green day today, it will avoid it without touching and start to move upwards. And if there's volume, the bounce will be sharp, and so will the potential chance of high momentum. I think the algorithms will start buying some shares during this time because it's at its lows, and again during this time, retailers will also buy, causing the prices to start surging again. If you're holding short-term options in this, God bless you. I could see maybe some long-term options here if we go to the options chain. And if we look at the options chain for this, I could definitely see us getting to $9.01 by Friday, as $9 is max pain for September 17th, but quite a bit of volume on these. We only have 10,500 calls in the money and 143,000 calls out of the money. 16,000 puts right now in the money and 27.8 thousand out of the money right now. So this could be very painful for a lot of people if you're holding options that expire this week. But anyways, guys, that is just about going to do it for this one. So as always, please make sure you are subscribed to the channel for more updates on Clover Health, as well as other stocks and tokens we like. And I thank you guys so much for watching this far, and I'll see you in the next video.